All right, Mikel here, 9th place overall here at the Hangtown National. How was the day?
Today was good. I actually struggled a little bit in time practice, not like with my feeling, but just pace. I think I was riding a little bit too much within my comfort zone. So sort of a mid time practice, I think I was 13th. But for the first moto, I got off to a great start, ran in the top 5 for a lot of the race, finished 7th, which I think we're very proud of at this point of this season. We obviously still building, and to finish 7th in the moto is pretty good. Second moto, before the restart, running in 3rd behind Jed and Hunter, and I was like, this might be a good situation to potentially get a top 5. And I slid down the hill, and I think Jacob ran over my bike and hurt himself. So obviously I hope Jacob is all right. But obviously that gave me the opportunity to do a restart with the red flag. Bike was quite beat up. There was some things on the bike that we had to get rid of to make the bike run, which kind of messed up my start in the second moto, but so be it. I had to come from outside the top 20 and make myself back into the 12th, which gave me 9 overall, like you said. So overall, solid day. I think progress from last weekend, visibly progress from last weekend. So we can't be mad about that at all.
Hey, how are those first few laps in Moto2 after the restart where you've already had the incident, you know the bike is not exactly what it was? How do you feel it out for the first 5 minutes?
Honestly, that's where you as a rider just gotta sort of block it out. Okay. Just ride as if you've ridden this bike 10,000 times, whether there's a little bit of a bent bar or clamp or whatever, front wheel, whatever it might be. You just gotta ride it and adapt to it, and I felt like I did that pretty well. Obviously, I didn't have a great start, so I couldn't push fully the first couple of laps. I was sort of fiddling my way through the pack, but yeah, you just gotta man up and just do it.
Okay, you had an interesting pre-season to get to this point, doing a couple amateur races, not doing Supercross.
Yeah.
How's it feel to finally have the gate drops?
Oh, it's fucking awesome. Sorry for the swearing, but no, it's awesome. I've waited since Unadilla. Okay, I did Nations, but pretty much since Unadilla last year to go and race again, and to be on the 450 with champions like there is in this kind of class, it's really fucking cool. So I know I'm enjoying myself a lot, and I cannot wait to see what we can achieve this season.
Thanks, Mikel.
Thank you.
All right, Colt Nichols, 21st place here at Hangtown. How was the day?
Oh, not good. Oh no. Yeah, man, that was tough. That was a really tough day. Outdoors has straight up just kicked my ass so far. So qualifying, I was terrible. That's the worst I've ever qualified in my career. And then first moto went exactly the same. And you just have to go really fast here. And if you're not comfortable, it's hard to go fast. And I was kind of just fighting some stuff. And Mark and the guys made some really good changes for Moto2, and I felt like I was able to ride. The track slowed down a little bit, which helped me. When it's really fast like that, it's just not really my deal. I like it when it's a little slower, a little more technical, and they just made this race faster and faster and faster every year. So struggle bus for me today, for sure. But like I said, Moto2 is a lot better. I feel like I rode decent. I think I got 15th or 16th, something like that at Moto2, which is okay. Still not where I wanted to be at all, but it's a little win, so I'll take a little win at this point. But uncertain of what comes next. We'll take this next week, reevaluate Suzuki Ride Camp on this next weekend, Colorado, and then we'll see. Hopefully get to some more races. I don't really want to sit on the couch too long, so yeah, but a little break ahead and see what happens.
Hey, knowing what you do about your job, you did Supercross, you have the other Supercross season coming up, you know what you have to do for this. Does this put more pressure on these limited outdoor gate drops, or is it well, I just got to go do it for the summer part-time gig?
Yes and no. I mean, in a way, a little bit, because I wanted to come in and obviously be a little more competitive, being we were only doing a few. But at the same time, we were just really behind on everything. Outdoor testing wise, I felt pretty, I don't want to say unprepared, but pretty unprepared coming in to compete where I felt like I needed to be. So yeah, it's kind of weird, with the way the schedule is, but now moving forward, it's got to do what we got to do. I think that a little break might be needed, you know, for me even. Just starting WSX last year a little bit earlier, and then just through Supercross and outdoors, I'm like, man, been a long time since having a little break. So, yeah, I don't know. Needed to be better than what we were for sure, so it was disappointing, but is what it is.
Thanks, Cole.
Yep, thank you.
All right, Seth Hamaker, third overall here at the Hangtown National. How was the day?
It was a pretty good day. Started off really good in qualifying. Second session I was P2, or first session I was P2, sorry, then second one I got P1, threw down a really good lap even when the track was a little bit rougher, but felt really good on this track today, which normally I don't gel with this place too much, but felt good and headed into the first moto. Ripped an amazing start, pulled the whole shot, and yeah, it was kind of like last week, but I rode better, or in the opening laps, kind of pulled a little bit of a gap. Was able to kind of just ride my own lines, not be getting pelted with roost, which felt nice. And, honestly, the first moto felt, you know, pretty easy again, just riding by myself, and saved some energy for that second one. And then Moto 2, start wasn't good, obviously. You know, lined up pretty far inside, which was risky and kind of bit me there a little bit. But was drag racing with Bolin there, and you know, I didn't let off, and he didn't let off, and I was just going for it. So kind of got clipped from behind from him, threw me into one of the star guys who had a really good jump from the outside, and locked bars with him, and then saved that. But I kind of got thrown back to the left side, and then went in front of somebody and just got hit from behind, and I was on the ground. So, but yeah, this one is a tough start. You know, it's short, it's tight. I think what they did with that first corner was better, but still it's still high speed coming in there. So racing stuff happens, and picked my bike up. Took me a little bit to get going. Couldn't start it at first. Had a bunch of dirt jammed in my start button, and then got up and just started clicking guys off one at a time. I felt like I was riding good again that Moto 2, but coming from behind, it's always a dig, and you got to push through it. But I feel like it was a good test for my endurance and the fight that I have. So, you know, I always never give up and just push to the end. So 1-9 for third overall, can't complain.
Knowing the chaos of that first turn, but that there was still, you know, 35 minutes left to go, how did you not get too wound up and then start addressing the task at hand?
Yeah, I thought I handled that pretty well. I was, yeah, obviously a panic sets in there at first, and it's very frustrating, and, you know, it's just kind of got to regroup, you know, put your head down, not do anything different than what you would do if you're out front. Just, you know, try to manage a track like that. Obviously, you're having to ride different lines because you're trying to get around guys, and sometimes that can help you learn lines, but other times, you know, you're obviously testing out lines, and you take a line that's a lot worse than the main line that the other guy you're trying to pass is taking, so you lose time, and then a little bit of cat and mouse. But all in all, like, it's good for me to have those motos, even though it's not, you know, the points wise, you don't want to have a 9th place finish, but it still teaches you a lot, and to have, you know, the grit in me and the toughness that, you know that I can pull out when I need to, when the adversity hits. So yeah, we'll take it for what it is, and still got the points lead, and only 2 rounds in, so we got a lot of racing left, but I feel good.
All right, last thing, we know you've been on the West Coast to get everything rehabbed. Do you get to go back into the Florida routine now, or is it another week out here?
Yeah, I'm going to go back to Florida tomorrow, get back there, get settled in. I've been out in California since Salt Lake City, so it's been about a month, and I'm ready to get back to my house and rest up a little bit this week. Haven't been there in a long time, so obviously the weather's going to be hot, you know, as summer's hitting, and probably just ride one day this week. Don't do anything crazy especially heading into elevation next week at Colorado. I want to be as fresh as possible, and I think I figured out some of my, you know, things with my body to give myself the best feeling that I can on the weekends, which is obviously the most important, is to be, you know, the best feeling on Saturday. So if I can continue to give myself that opportunity and rest during the week and bring it all on the weekend, that's what I'm going to continue to do.
Thanks, Seth.
Thank you.
right, Nick Romano, 6th place overall here at the Hangtown National. How was the day?
The day was positive. Steps in the right direction. 6'4". Stoked with it. As everyone knows by now, it's been a rough couple of years, and just grateful to be back in this position. Grateful to be back on a factory team. Grateful to be back fighting up front. Like, there's just so many positives, and I'm so grateful for it all. So yeah, just excited, man. Excited for what the future holds, and just keep at it one day at a time. Like I said, I mean, I'm happy where I'm at. The bike is unbelievable right now on outdoors, and yeah, the team's doing well, as everyone can see. So yeah, just excited.
Hey, going back to Moto 1, great ride. You could tell, though, that like you knew everybody was behind you and you were riding well. How was it to feel that pressure, and then when the passes did happen, to reset and then finish it out?
Yeah, the pressure thing, I like it. Like, to me, pressure is kind of a privilege, right? Like, I would sit on the couch with a blown out knee or shoulder or whatever it was, and just dreaming, like watching the guys that I've raced my whole life battle. And it's just like two different worlds when you're watching it on the couch and you're actually in it. So like, I'm just proud of myself for fighting. Like, obviously I was up front 3, 4, 5. I don't know where I was, to be fair, and a couple guys got me, and I'm just happy that I was able to reset and keep going forward, right? And then even Moto 2, like, good start, went from 5th to 2nd, ended up 4th. Like, I'm in that bubble where I've always wanted to be, and I know I've always had it. I just need to keep doing it. And I mean, just from Paula to Hangtown in 1 week, we made a lot of progress with my fitness, my health, my nutrition, the bike. Like, everything is just gelling right now, and like I said, I'm grateful for it. So yeah, off to Colorado now.
Hey, people that are watching this, like, the closest thing they may have to it if they don't race, it's like if a car follows them in like the flight or fight response, you know what I mean? Like, oh, are they coming to get me? What is it like when you have that many people behind you knowing they're coming for your spot?
It's a tough thing to honestly explain or describe. Like, when you're in that, like, honestly, the easiest position to be is in the lead. Like, you're controlling the race, you're doing it all, which obviously sounds hard or mental, but it really is. And when you're in that 2 to 6, 2 to 5, 2 to 6, like, it's tough because you're trying to catch the leader or the guy in front of you, but then if you're in that 5, 6, like, you got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 in a train. So it's like, if you let one guy pass you, then, you know, the next 5 see that and they're like, oh, I can get him, you know? So you really have to fight that fine line from like 15 minutes in to like 25. That's where a lot of the damage happens. Everyone's good in the beginning and there's only a couple guys good at the end. So if you can stay with that momentum and stay with that front pack from like 15 to 25, you break the guys behind you, and then not only that, but you break the pack behind them, right? So like I said, for me, it's just trying to get that back, and I know my speed's good, my starts are good, and honestly, this week, like, I had a big crash Tuesday. I didn't even know if I was going to be able to race. Recovered all week, hit Dr. G, thankful for him, showed up here and just sent it, you know? So, like, so many things happened within the week and today, and I'm extremely happy. Like, P4 and Moto 2 is my best. I've never had a weekend get better in the second Moto, you know? Like, I've always been 4 Moto 1 or 5 or 8 or 9, but then I've been like 9 or 8, you know? It's always been worse. So I'm really happy that I had a better second Moto. Like, when the track gets rougher, everyone's tired, the heat comes out. So yeah, man, just stoked on it. Really happy with where I'm at, and just keep trucking.
All right, last thing, your dad's over there talking to Mitch just out of frame. Have you figured out how much longer you're going to be around here?
I have no idea. I think if I just keep doing what I'm doing, I'll be around for a while, hopefully. That's kind of where my mind's at. So yeah, like I said, for me, it's day by day and race by race. So just keep going.
Thanks, bud.
Yep.
All right, Carson Mumford, 9th overall here at the Hangtown National. How was the day?
It was pretty good. First moto, 8th, and then second moto was running 5th and had some really gnarly saves. Blew off the track twice and lost quite a few positions. The first time I blew off the track, I was in 5th and went back to 7th and caught back up to 5th. And I wasted a lot of energy doing that. And then the second time, landed in a braking bump, kind of got whiskey throttle, went way off the track, and I lost 5 positions, and also kind of lost a little bit of my fight, and you know, I was a little bit nervous to not crash after that. So I rode around in 10th for pretty much the rest of the race, and then a few laps ago, Hammaker was on a charge. Obviously, he went down in the first turn, and his speed's quite a bit better than mine right now. He's winning races, and I didn't have anything for him, right? So he passed me, ended up 11th. So not a bad day, you know, going 8-11. Shoot, dude, there's factory guys to like 25th, it seems like. So, and you'll even see guys that win races like Kitchen. If he's back there, dude, it's hard to come up to the front. And the first moto, I got like a 22nd, 20th place start and worked my way up to 8th. So I was pretty happy with that. I had to pass a lot of really good guys. So my riding's good, my bike's good. I think, you know, I'm in a good spot getting 9th at the second round of the series. I got 11th at the first round, making steady, small improvements. So yeah, looking forward to the rest of the season and just going to try and keep building. It'd be really rad to get an 8th and a 7th, you know, keep climbing the ladder a little bit. So yeah.
Is there anything you can translate or correlate this good run to? Because, like, no disrespect, Carson, it's been a tough go for the last little bit. That's why it's so incredible to see you stacking it like this and, like, doing it week after week now.
Yeah. The hardest thing that I've kind of dealt with is, like, having really big missing pieces of the puzzle, right? It's been like, there's been years I've been like in super good shape and healthy, and then maybe not had like the bike to really go do it. And then there's other years that, you know, I've had the bike, like when I filled in for Pro Circuit, but I was injured all year. So it's like I couldn't train, I could barely ride, and it was like, I was just trying to milk that opportunity to kind of show what I had. And now, you know, I've always kind of missed some sort of piece of the puzzle and ended up right around that 10th place mark, you know. This year, I definitely am starting to build, it seems like, and I just want to keep that up. Like, I think it was somewhat of a mature decision, or maybe just kind of a wuss decision. Like, after that second time I almost crashed, I just said, you know what, I don't really want to crash. I'd rather just get 11th, you know, or maybe a younger previous year me, if my bike setup wasn't good, I'd let my ego get the best of me and I just keep pinning it, you know. So gonna try and keep building, man, because it definitely seems like I am for the first time in a long time.
Okay, you just talked about two things that are going to be really important that we're going to see all summer, especially in the 250 class, like the inconsistencies.
Yeah.
But the pressure that's on a young kid of like, oh my gosh, I have to do it right now. I cannot. I have to go out and try as hard as I can.
Yeah.
How do you find that balance? Like you said, you just have to do it organically.
Yep.
But then keeping that frame of mind in the race rather than getting too high, too low.
Yeah, I've been working on that a lot. I've been working on kind of just like talking myself up as the moto goes. You know, like if you get a bad start, I used to like freak out on myself, and there would be photos of me where I have the gas turned all the way, the clutch pulled in all the way, and my foot's on the brake, right? Because I'm just in panic mode where, you know, now if I do get a mediocre start or, you know, something isn't going my way, I've been trying to just talk to myself like, dude, it's okay. Don't panic. It's a long moto. Say things that are good, you know, like when I did swap out on the track, I was like, just take a breath. You know, you got good speed, you'll pass these guys back, you know. Years previous, I'd almost just talk negatively the whole time, and it would almost seem like it would make me fade more because I would, you know, I'd be in good shape at the practice track and things like that, where your brain's kind of off, and then here your brain's like fully on. And I think, you know, obviously the whole mental state really does affect you out there. So this season, you know, it's probably not the most fit I've ever been in my life, but you know, I am fit enough to go do 235s and stay strong the whole moto. And I just kind of been, you know, talking myself up out there. Like, dude, you're riding good. You just passed the factory guy. Like, that's awesome. Just keep going. Nail the rut. And if I make a mistake, it's okay. Take a breath, you know. So I think that's something that I had to learn, and it took me a few years, and it'd definitely be something that, you know, these young kids are probably going to have to learn, because there's some young kids out there, man, they rip, dude. And it just seems like around the 15-20 minute mark, I'll somewhat catch them. So, and that was me a few years ago, you know. So, you know, they probably rip at the practice track. They can probably do 40s, you know. So when they come here, maybe it was like me, where, you know, you make a mistake, a guy passes you, you don't think that should pass you, and you're like, what am I doing? You know, you start revving it, this and that. So, gonna try and keep that whole mental state the whole season, you know, because I know there's gonna be weekends where you're just like beating your head against the wall and you're not really sure what's going on out there. So, gonna definitely try and hold myself accountable and keep at that.
Thanks, Carson.
Yep.
All right, Kyle Webster, 41st place at the Hangtown National. How was the day?
I think the result says how rough it was. Unfortunately, I had a big crash in the first race and ended up dislocating my shoulder. And pretty banged up. Big thanks to the medic crew and all that for getting it back in for me. I'm just sore at the moment and really disappointed. Really, not how I wanted to end this trip.
This has been a big trip for you every year to come over here and just kind of get up to speed, keep you sharp while your series is on break. What does this do for your series down there now?
Yeah, I love coming over here, and just doing some racing, seeing everybody, and I think it's just nice to do the different races each year and come to experience new tracks and a real deep field of competition. So I think that helps me back at home. I think it's a good way to break it up a little bit, break up the races at home, and also, like I said, just keep racing because we don't have that many. We normally have a big break in between them. So I think it's always a positive. Unfortunately, there is always a risk though of something like this happening, which it did this time, but hopefully we should be okay by next week, I think.
All right, you will be going home after this regardless, though, not because of the crash, but it was time to go anyway?
Yeah, it was time to go. We got a race next weekend in Australia, so I had to go back after this one. Hopefully I can convince Sharif to come back again a little later in the year.
All right, last thing, you have a long flight home. Do you have a comfortable seat? Like, how will you stretch out not to get so stiff and locked up on that long flight?
Oh, it's not that comfortable. It's like 33, so I don't know. I'm hoping for an empty row if I can. That would be ideal for me.
Thanks, Kyle.
Thank you.
All right, Garrett Marchbanks, 5th place overall here at the Hangtown National. How was the day?
Day was solid. Really happy with the racing results. Obviously, I didn't work on some qualifying laps, but track was pretty smooth in the morning, so it was pretty hard to just go out there and send it. But no, besides that, had some really good starts today. Was really happy with the progress we had on starts. Happy with the bike setup changes we made through the week. The team and I have put in a lot of hard work to try to make the changes quick and better for this weekend, and it really showed. We made also another small change going in the Moto 2 that really helped. So, no, it was a really good day. Happy with the starts, happy with the speed, happy with the fitness. Just glad to be able to have my first top 5 of the season so far in the 450 class.
Hey, charging hard today. I saw you putting in the work all the way till the checkered flag in both motos.
Yeah, no, it was really good. Just trying to put in really solid laps, ride consistent and hard the whole time. Second moto just kind of lost a little bit of that speed the last lap and a half, sadly, and just couldn't quite keep up with fourth. But no, it was a good day. Really happy with the progress. Chase was riding really good that second moto. Got away from me the last few laps, but no, it was a good day. Him and I had a really good pace going that second moto.
All right, thoughts after the first 2 races, just overall on the pack and everything? You've had a pretty good mix of things.
Yeah, no, bike's really good so far. We made some really good changes, big changes after Paula. That really helped. We realized what we needed to work on, and it seemed like we found quite a bit of that. But no, it was good. Really happy with things so far. It seemed like the changes we made for Moto 2 were even more positive. So hopefully we just keep building and keep the progress going through the year.
Thanks, Garrett.
Thanks.
All right, Benny Bloss, 15th place here at the Hangtown National. How was the day?
Day was good. A little up and down. Like the qualifying was pretty good. I had a pretty big crash this morning, I will say, in first quali, and I think I did one fast lap before that. So qualifying was not great. The motos were sick. First moto I was 13th, and I really feel like I rode solid. I had some fast guys in front of me, and they weren't like gapping me too bad. I think some pretty big progress this week compared to last week, which is obviously great to see. And then like last week, I was great in the first moto, and then the second moto I was smoked. Where this week I was having a little bit of an issue, so I pulled in the mechanics area on the first lap, and then I got back on the track. I bet it felt like I was 20 seconds behind, like 38th. Like I was way back. I kind of like was peeking to where other guys were, and I was like, wow, this is not good. And I pushed to 20. A big dig, one of the best rides I think that I've had in a while. Bike was sick, and I didn't get tired. Like I felt really good. So yeah, I was quite happy with it. Team seems happy, and yeah, like I said, the bike's been awesome, so it's keeping me happy.
Yeah, I had an eye on you both motos. You did great in that first one, but that second one, I got to give you credit, Benny, because you were way, way, way back on that first lap.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know. My pit board just kept saying 20th possible. And at one point, I think I was 29th, and it said 20th possible, and I was kind of like looking ahead, and I'm like, I don't know how it's possible, but you know, I put trust in my guys, and it was possible. We got 20th, so it was kind of nice. I caught like 5 guys at one time and was able to make some good passes quickly in the same, like maybe a 2-lap span. I think I passed like 5, maybe 4 or 5 guys. Yeah, stoked with it. The first moto was sick because I got 13th, which is, I feel like, good in the field, right? Like, it's super stacked right now. But I'm happier with the second moto just because, like, the push to the end, I felt like it was really good.
What does the bike do differently outdoors than indoors?
Man, it's not that I don't think it's great in Supercross, because I love the bike in Supercross. We raced a couple outdoors last year, and I wasn't the biggest fan. I felt like we didn't really spend a lot of time on the outdoor setup, so we just kind of went racing and weren't, like, my prep wasn't great. Where the prep this year has been way better, and the bike is just solid. There's nothing that it does that I don't like. Like, it handles all the big bumps good, it handles the chatter good, I can rip the ruts good. It's really, really good. I said this in a different interview, but I'm at the point where it's by far, I think, my favorite bike that I've ever raced in my career, and that's saying something because I've ridden some good bikes. So gotta give a major shout out to the Beta guys. They've absolutely killed it on this setup, and yeah, I think that we have a good chance to be able to push for some really good results this summer.
Thanks, Benny.
Thank you.
All right, RJ Hampshire, 6th place overall here at the Hangtown National. How was the day?
Just a battle, dude, all day, just a battle. First moto wasn't that great, like the start wasn't. And dude, me and Dylan went at it for a while. Had him a couple times, he got me back. Some questionable moves, but yeah, I was digging deep on that one. Didn't make the pass, and then second moto, actually had a really good start. Like, I was up there, and dude, I just got laid into in the second turn and went back, I think, to 6th or so, and then I slid out after the big 150, and it was like backwards, and somehow missed everybody. So I went back to like 13th, and then had a good charge again, caught all the way up to that group. Was all over Dylan again, Dylan and Marchbanks there, and dude, it was just hard to keep the rear down out there that second moto, and rear stepped out on me and weeded it. Man, all in all, like, first 2 rounds, California, getting out of here healthy, had good battles. I think I'm P4 in the standings right now. So best 2, I'd say, start the season for me.
Hey, you really caught my attention late in Moto 2. You were putting on a charge, got right behind Christian. Really good couple last few laps there. So can you take me through that? Yeah, well, it was actually before that is whenever I put in a big charge, and when I was all over Dylan, it was 5 to go. It was all over Dylan, and if I knew if I would have got him, I would have went to P4 overall. So man, I was trying everything I could, and again, lines all over the place, and just came down, and honestly, it was the same kind of crash as what Hayden had last year, right before the mechanics area, and I did the same thing, rear stepped out and did like a cartwheel, everything, got up right behind Christian, then it was 3 to go, and I don't think it really would have changed my overall at all, but still, it's not in me just to cruise it in, so yeah, I was going for it again, but man, like I said, all in all, pretty happy to get out of here these first 2 rounds and start heading east, and kind of starts ramping up for me once we get east. Thanks, RJ. Thanks.
Hi folks, Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you enjoyed what you just watched, well, you can get a whole lot more. Yes, it's time to bring the action and subscribe to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube channel. You get all the news, highlights, reviews, the whole lot. So go for it.